Hello, friends and beautiful people. Today, my studly husband is going to show you how we are extracting honey. So the kids bought us this, we asked for a hand crank honey extractor, and he's going to tell you how it works. They got this for us 2 years ago. So,
and we're just finally getting it out of the case and using it. So we don't want the kids to know that because they would be a little upset. So
whoopsie.
Anyway, this is it. It's all stainless steel. I've cleaned it all and assembled it, and it's ready to go. And it's a pretty simple principle. If you look inside, there's a four-sided cage, and basically you put one of the frames that has honey in it after you take a knife or a honeycomb scratcher and open up all the cells. Then you put it in here and you load it in there with the side out that you've already scraped like this. And then you put one that's weighted similar to this side so that it's not out of balance. And then you can do 4 at once. Once you do that, you just take this and the handle, obviously, and you crank it, and it spins the honey out. And the honey goes to the side of the container, runs down the side of the container, goes to the bottom where it's beveled downward to collect it, and then it comes out this spot here. And then you can put it in, after you strain it, you can put it in quarts, pints, whatever containers you want to put it in. And that's the basic, simple process of extracting honey from the cone. And then after you do that, and the honey is extracted out of the frames, then you put the frames back in so the bees don't have to build another set of combs, and they just fill it back up. So it's a nice little cycle. And it saves them work and it saves time, and this is a good time of year to actually take your first set of honey out of the frames because they're collecting all the tree pollen and everything else. And the hive that I took these out of has actually 3 stacks on it of these frame holders. I took the top frame, which leaves them a whole frame or a whole stack of frames with their honey, and then below that would be the brood frames. So they weren't really happy with me this morning, but they finally did give up this this batch of the honey. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take what I call it's a cone scratcher.
We're going to do the manual one first, just to show how it works.
This is old school. You take the frame, figure out which side you want to use, which would be this side, and you can see all the honey here that's in this frame. It's not full, but there's enough honey in here to extract. And then you take this and you scrape the tops off of the honey so that you can spin it out. And once you scrape it all like this,
it is a messy job.
And the only bad thing about this is that you end up with a lot of small pieces of wax in your honey, so you have to strain it really well. And you also need to make sure you try to open up all the individual cones so that you get the honey when it spins.
I think I'm the only person on the planet who does not enjoy the smell of honey.
Yeah, she doesn't like honey. And so not only just likes the smell, I don't think you like the honey, do you?
Not like you do. I'm not one of those people who can just like eat honey. Although I do have an affinity for the dark honey.
Ah, all right, so then this is open. There's nothing on this side to really extract. So in goes the frame.
And we're pointing it towards the outside.
Yes.
Because it goes against this metal outside and then slides down. If you pointed it towards the inside, you would just be slopping honey on all the frames. Are you going to use the heated one for that one?
Yeah, let's try that.
All right.
Never used the heated one, so we're going to give it a shot.
I bought that as a present for him. At the same time, we got this. So it's hot. One thing we have just learned today, because this is the second time trying this video, is that you can't use the heated knife on a extension cord.
Apparently, for some reason, it blew the... Oh, I'm going to like this knife a lot. It does waste the honey, it looks like. Get too deep in it.
First time using it, so you'll get better at it.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, check that out.
It's gonna cool off, there's a problem. I need to plug it back in, but I don't know why it won't work on that one extension cord.
Maybe the extension cord was too long.
Could very well be. It's not cooling off too fast. That's a good thing. As you'll notice, there's different colors of this honey, different times of the year. This would have been what was last fall's, probably some sort of dark some sort of dark blossom, some kind. It could be barley, it could be anything.
Yeah, I know that the goldenrod makes that nice dark color. They've actually got charts out of which trees and which flowers make the darker honey, and using that, some of you who are with me when I do my seed videos, when I'm picking out different herbs and some of the flowers that we grow here on our farm, that is something I take into account. You could never, just an FYI, on your farm, if you don't have hundreds and hundreds of acres, you could never grow enough flowers and trees and all the different things to supply your bees with all of the honey that they need. And that was something I learned at our beekeeping group, was that and that's why they travel up to how many miles?
5 miles.
5 miles to get pollen, because you need a lot. The one guy who was there had a 150-acre farm in West Virginia, and he was telling us about how much he had planted, and it still wasn't enough. So we're only going to do 2 right now?
Right now, yeah.
Okay, we're going to do 2.
Now, you're supposed to bolt this to the floor. We're going to see how well it works without bolting it to the floor. Stand on that other leg.
It's hard to stand on the leg and video at the same time.
But as you can see, the honey's starting to collect on the side of the barrel. The centrifugal force is just forcing it out of there.
Woohoo!
We may end up having to bolt this to a floor.
Well, when we get moved, we can pick a place where we'll bolt it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's also got those plastic lids that go on it.
Yeah, that's true.
To keep it from coming up.
I don't think it's coming out, though. I don't think it's coming out of the top.
All right, so you can see all that beautiful honey on the sides. All right, you see those, all that honey running down the side there? Nice. Did not mean to do that. I just bumped the arm. There you go. You can see we're going to go ahead and get 2 more combs ready to put in there with them.
All right, we've been spinning it a little while. The honey's a little cold, so it's not coming out as fast as we like for it to. So I'm going to stop it, and we're going to check one of these combs and see how we're doing.
Before you do that, with a manual hand crank, you don't want to just jerk this stopped. This is a sprocket gear in here, and it will strip it out if you just jerk the handle stopped. Hubs should be proud of me that I know that.
She knows that. She does. Now we got honey coming out, and you can see it on the front of the cones. But again, it's a little too cool to be doing this, but we're going to get it done. So what we do is we'll just keep spinning it. We have heaters working now in this room, so it should raise the temperature in here. So we're going to just continue to work on it. And we've got probably, I don't know if you can see down in there, there's quite a bit of honey along the sides already. Get out of the light.
We can't see it very well, but there's more down there than you can see. I know you can still see stainless steel down there, but there is a bunch down there. And I will tell you that we also had this that we were going to do, but no shame in my game, as I've told you before. A mouse got into this. So at this point, we're not going to use anything out of that box. which is a daggone shame because it actually had more honey in it than we have in these. Those were full. It's sad, but that's what, we've just learned a lesson about procrastinating. Joe, I think we're going to have to unplug your honey knife.
Okay, unplug it.
The honey on it is turning black. I did figure out that with the honey knife, when you use it, you want to just turn it on its side like this and come across, rather than laying it down and trying to slide across. It seems to be easier to use that way. But that's what we have going so far. Another thing with the hand cranks, the reason why it was kind of rocking a little bit before was because we did only have 2 in it. So when we had you turned off, we went ahead and put 2 more in. So we've got 4 in there right now. And he's taking the turn. I was actually fine with cranking, but since I'm videoing, it's not like it's a big deal to crank. It doesn't wear you out or anything.
It's actually quite light.
Yeah, it's just a matter of motion. So we'll bring you back when we are done spinning and show you what we got. Show you how we drain it out and strain it. Okay, friends, so I'm going to finish up the honey video. Not the way I wanted to, but the way we have to. Hubs finished processing it and forgot to video. So I'm going to just kind of tell you what we did, and we'll just go from there. So here we go. All right, we're in the garage. And what we did was we have this double strainer. And basically and then it gets finer. So we set this underneath the extractor that we were using that we showed you, and opened up the hatch and let the honey all go through both of these, and then we did it into a bowl, and then we poured it into the pint jars. Now remember, we showed you this, and Hubs was using it across the hives. Let's see if I can give you a better angle so you can see what I mean. So he was going across like this, just straight across the hives to break the wax open to release the honey. You don't want to do that, because what happens is, you saw it sizzling, you're going to get some crystallization. So what you need to do is do it the way I did it, and just come across the top like this, or like this if you're, but that way you're not going to get the crystallization that you're going to get by just sliding it across there and watching it fry like an egg. So we ended up we ended up with about 14 pints, which would have been more than double that, because the hives that we lost that we showed you in the thing had tons more honey on them than that. So we were kind of disappointed about that. The next time we do honey, we will definitely do another video, because I feel like we cheated you towards the end. But it all worked out for us. We got enough honey to last us for a little bit, and frankly got some stuff cleaned up that we needed to get cleaned up in time to move. So until next time, be blessed and be a blessing.